Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Church Mouse Chronicles. Today we have Kent. Today we don't have a special guest because I was lazy to actually contact them.
I'm glad you said it because I was gonna.
Okay. I know that you're always ready for some snappy patty remarks, so I decided to disarm you from the get-go. So we wanted to make an episode based on our failed New Year's resolutions, because New Year's resolutions is something that you fail. You know,
Not all of them failed. Not all of them failed. Come on.
oh God, when I read these, it's like,
Yeah, can I just I just remembered. I just wanted to thank everybody for the wonderful comments and support based on our previous episode where I kind of walked you through a bit of as B put it, hellscape of the Serbian healthcare system. And just a quick update, my dad is much better, and we actually expect him to be released from the hospital any day now, God willing. Of course, the streak didn't end there because it's the second huge wave of the pandemic, and everybody's sick. Like everybody's sick. Like my godfather, both of his parents, B's mother.
yes. Thankfully, she's doing much better than your dad, but still, she's like she can't work.
Yeah, it's pretty, disabling. But yeah, mild symptoms are much easier to deal with. But still, now you know that time when we were like, I don't really know anybody who's like who has COVID.
I'm actually drawing close to I don't know anyone who didn't have it.
Yeah, so I think we all need to keep praying for people who are experiencing problems, and especially for the medical staff everywhere. But yeah, on a brighter topic.
No,
that's all right. We had this episode back in like end of last year, I think, where was it right? Where we commented on, like, we talked about our New Year's resolution. It's not the end of this year, right? Actually, this year we started the podcast, the video podcast, right? Yeah. So basically, we talked about, we showed our lists. I think we commented on who has better handwriting, me.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I have a pretty good handwriting. However, you have a much prettier one, but yours is so difficult to read despite how beautiful it was. If Germans wrote with that during the Second World War, they would have won. By the way, I don't know if I told you this story about us watching the Faust movie.
Hold on. Jingles, story time.
Jingles. Did I tell you the story time about us watching the... No? Okay. No. I love this.
Or maybe you did, I just forgot. Maybe it was a bad story. But
yeah, okay. So, which is more of a problem because then you will hear it twice. So... Okay, so for the past 6 or so years, I'm going to German classes. Initially, it was because I was supposed to work in a law firm which had a huge German clientele. Then I got employed in the European Serbian Integrations Ministry, and part of our reading documents was in German, so I kept with it. Now I have absolutely no use for it, but I still go because, I like the crowd, and why not learn a second or well, in my case, third language. So one day, this was while I was still in the ministry. This story will probably only be funny to me, but I like it. Our German teacher, a very good friend of mine, Sonia, she told us, "Hey guys, in lieu of having a class, maybe we could go and watch a German movie." And we were like, "Oh, cool! Which movie is that?" It's a Faust movie from the year, I know, 1912 or something, and it's a silent movie. And we're like, okay, how much German is there? And she's like, yeah, but there are cards between scenes which describe what's happening, what are people saying, so it will be good opportunity. And okay, fine. And somebody asked me, maybe they're like one other person during that class, and the two of them asked, "When can you go pick up buy the cars?" And I'm sure, no problem. So during my lunch break,
ticket. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, ticket. Yeah, what did you say?
You said cards.
Yeah, ticket. Yeah. So during my lunch break, during the working hours, I went there to get the tickets, and it is one of those locations in the city where you absolutely cannot use public transport because it is so problematically placed as regards to your workplace. So so in the blazing summer sun, I went to that theater, and you know it, Kinoteca, and I come there and it's closed, and it says we are opening at 6 and the movie's at 8. So I'm like, sure, okay, fine, I'll get it before the movie. So I go back to my workplace, and I'm like soaking wet from the sweat because it was so hot. Like, it's one of those days where they say on every TV and radio and internet station, do not go outside. So it's 8:30. I'm there tad earlier in order to get the tickets, and I stand in the line to get the tickets, and by line I mean one other guy, and he's like buying a ticket, and the ticket saleswoman tells him, "Sir, you do realize that this is a silent movie, right?" Yeah, I know it. "Sir, you do realize that there are no subtitles during the movie." "But how am I going to understand the scenes?" "Well, we decided it is more natural for it not to have subtitles." And he simply leaves. He doesn't buy a ticket. So I buy a ticket. My teacher Sonia comes. The other guy from the class comes, and we're waiting for a friend of ours because she invited her too. So we all enter with our 4 tickets. We enter the theater, and there's only one other person. The whole theater. And later on, when I was telling to some other friend of mine that I went in the blazing sun to buy tickets in advance for a movie that will have 5 people in total for the projection, and she was like, "Well, yeah, there was a rush to see that movie." I mean, for me, it did not occur for a second that there really wouldn't be crowds to see a silent German movie without subtitles. So
look, it would take nothing less than a miracle to get me to go watch a silent movie in general. But then German silent movie is a whole nother category of miracle level of miracle that would be necessary for that. But yeah. But I love it. I love it how the guy called it quits when he heard there was no subtitles. I was like, why did you even want to watch the silent movie in the first place?
But silent German movies is something that guys that wear glasses like yours watch, with that pose. Yes, early German expressionism or something.
These are the first real glasses, prescription glasses that I got. I just tried on a couple of the one that worked. I took it.
No,
Is it
I'm not
hipster?
saying.
Well,
I'm not saying.
what's the vibe that is? Is it hipster?
It's borderline hipster. It's not really hipstery, but it is. I mean, they fit you, so they don't
You know
look
what?
hipster to me.
Definitely one of the things I didn't foresee in my New Year's resolution.
Okay.
And I'm gonna actually finish this year wearing real glasses because I was constantly wearing, like the fake ones that just
Yeah.
help with the computer and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then when
Well, okay.
she told me, I was like, so when do I wear them? Especially because I'm short-sighted, meaning that I don't see well. I see what's in front of me, but yeah.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, every time you're looking at a screen, and I'm like, that's pretty much 12 hours a day. So I keep wearing them, and
Yeah.
they're
I know.
always on. I don't need them always, but they're always on because just removing them and putting them back to go to the toilet.
Yeah, and like, oh, there's a notification. Ugh.
No, I don't. Because when I'm looking at things like close, it's fine. There's nothing's blurry or anything, so
Oh
I'm
yeah.
fine.
So anyway,
How was the movie?
no, wait. So we're discussing the movie, and Sonia is saying like, "Oh, I do hope that they play this beautiful score that they do not keep to the original, where it's like totally silent. There is a score that they have played in an updated version of the movie, and so on." And my that friend that she invited, she asks like, "What? How do you mean it's silent? It's a silent movie." And that friend simply stands up and walks out. So
Brilliant,
there's now four of us in the movie
brilliant,
theater. So the three of us
brilliant.
from the German class and one other person are a rando, probably Mephistopheles or something. So the movie begins, and there's the huge title of the movie, and it is written in such a Gothic script that I can barely read it, and I kept referring to the movie as Faust. Because you could barely read it, and okay, it's a title, so it is in calligraphy. It will get better, right? So and there's this scene where I think that Saint Michael expels Mephistopheles from the heavens, or they have a bet about destroying Faust's soul or something. Doesn't matter. And then the first text card pops on the screen. It's all Gothic script, and I'm like, Sonia, okay, I can read Erde, like Earth, and that's it. You can't even read it. To this day, I mock her for that. And usually, when we hang out at random intervals, I simply say Faust. And that is how your handwriting is. It's beautiful, and good God, what does it say? Nobody knows it but you.
Sorry, but you're wrong.
No.
It's very clear. But okay, it's fine.
No, it's clear, but you can't read it.
No, you can. It's just you're not used to reading Cyrillic. That's on you.
I always write in Cyrillic unless I'm writing in English or the document I'm filling up is in Latin.
This is what you draw. This is what you drew for me on my right after my New Year's resolutions list.
Yeah.
You remember
it's
that?
Actually, I think it is
we
probably
ate well that day.
Oh yeah.
So you have to remember.
Wait. But we ate well, but it was definitely not the Advent fast. So that was probably
mid-year. I don't remember.
No. It could have been mid-year, but it could have been just a little bit after Christmas.
No, I think we started videos like mid-year. I don't remember now, to be honest with you. When was our first video?
It's okay. So,
by the way, since we mentioned the first video, shout out to Father Andrew Stephen Damick. Like, I actually like the guy more and more as I've been exploring his content.
Yeah. He's a force for good.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like always dig everything he says, but he's great. That's it.
He's one of the people I would follow more thoroughly if I had more time, but I will try. I think he has this podcast called The Lord of Hosts, where they discuss
There's a lot of
angelic
things.
and
Yeah, there's a lot of things. That one is something I still haven't engaged, basically.
yeah,
He's speaking about angels and
yeah,
things that
and
are not really
demons.
spoken that much in church circles. Just like,
Well, I the thing is, I really want to hear it because honestly, there's so much about angels that we do not really know. I mean, we know some things, but not a whole lot has been revealed. I mean, okay, honestly, what do angels do, like when they're not like praying? Do they ever stop praying, or do they do something else besides praying? Questions like that, like the
do they
scholastic
still fall?
dream. Do they?
Do they still fall?
Well, sort of church teaching is that they sort of can't fall anymore, but
One of those things.
one of those things. Back to the New Year's resolutions, or why does my guardian angel cry at night?
Yeah, I'm looking at I gotta be honest with you. Like, I crossed a lot of, like, I've filled a lot of checkboxes here, which
Thank
is
God.
wow. But
by the way, a question for you.
mhm.
Do you keep these resolutions somewhere you can see them? They're easily accessed, like
No,
a
they're easily
wallpaper.
accessible to me, but they're not something that I put somewhere to, like, punch me in the eyes.
I think I would have done much better, or at least a little bit better, if I had them somewhere within my field of vision. And
Agreed. Agreed.
I heard it somewhere. Maybe it is.
That's a hint for the next one. That's
Yeah,
a good hint for the next one.
and I think that one of the best advices I've heard about New Year resolutions, except from my spiritual father, who only made one New Year resolution, that is not to make one ever again, is from that YouTuber Markiplier, and he said that New Year's resolutions are much easier to upkeep if you actually give much more specific goals. For example, it's not lose weight, but it's stop eating sugar, or stop eating sugar after 6 p.m., or don't work out more, but every day at around 5 p.m., 6 p.m., or something like that. Like, if it is a very specifically defined goal, not abstract, which is mine, I suggest that I start with mine because first of all, there's much less of them, and I have failed this so much.
I failed everything important.
Okay. And before I start this, guys, you may have seen this, but there's this amazing TikTok of a girl who reads her 2020 New Year's resolutions, and she's laughing her guts out because all of those New Year's resolutions are in direct conflict with what transpired in 2020, like travel more, be more social. It's like, and
I have these as well, by the way.
Sorry.
I have these as well.
To be quite honest, all of mine are perfectly 2020 friendly. Like, totally. The sole one that is not as much is go to gym more. That is the only one that's not, but still, let me begin. 8 hours of sleep a day. Well, I do try to record my sleeping times. Right now, I'm at 6 hours and half an hour. So I'm not doing that bad, and I did improve, but Next one is prayer. Morning prayer, evening prayer. Sorry?
I have an entire category for that.
No, I know that you were...
Continue.
No, because you were way more specific, which is probably a major driving force for you to actually do them well. The second category after sleep is, let's call it God category. So it's morning prayer, evening prayer, prayer on the prayer ropes, 3 chapters of the Bible per day. This is what Father Dimitri gave me. This would mean 2 chapters from the epistles or Acts or the Revelation, and 1 chapter from the Gospels. I usually try to go for 6, so I had 3 chapters of Old Testament. This one is the only one that I sort of kept, which is tragic. I mean, it's great that I kept that, but it is tragic that the others. And 15 minutes of silent prayer. I don't think that I have done 15 minutes of silent prayer maybe like 2 times this whole year. Now here's one. Now the next one is physical activity category. Oh boy. Walk more, gym, spine exercises, again, which I did approximately as much as I did those 15 minutes of silent prayer, except that these exercises take me an hour, and maybe I did like half an hour. And stretching. Gym, okay, I was relatively regular with gym until this second wave, and I'm not counting the first peak of when gyms were closed. But for the second peak, I was relatively consistent, and failed.
It was good. It was good.
Yeah, it was good.
You were consistent. I remember you were like, but it did like interfere. You were overbooked at some point. It was like gym, German, something I don't remember, but you were like completely...
No. Technically, I'm still overbooked. It's like gym, German, podcasts. And art lessons.
Exactly.
Yeah. Those are still all on, except that with art lessons and German, I do them from home. We do it online, and it is much more, relaxing. And I do not. Actually, major factor in me having a lot more time for my content is that we have transferred all of these things online, except the gym. But the gym is like, I don't know, 10-minute walk. But I don't have to drive to you to record the podcast. I don't have to go to German, which isn't that far, but still. And I don't have to go to art lessons, which were considerably far. And when you join all of these things per week, it saves me like good 5 hours, which is very good for me. However,
but there's a different side to that.
Of course,
the lack of real social contact is, for many, like for me personally, it's devastating.
Oh yeah, it's
devastating.
I have been trying to get more in touch with people, but we mentioned this in one of those previous episodes, and I'm really trying hard not to comment too much on the COVID situation, because everybody has had it up to here with it,
Yeah, almost every episode we do kind of contains this component.
But I was discussing with a coworker of mine, former coworker, how women who like they get a child and suddenly everything they do or talk about or post is dealing with their kids. And she had an amazing comment. Yeah, but that is your whole world now. And I don't mean like, oh, my child is my whole world. I mean, that is that too. But
I'm aware.
yeah, so and
I'm
it is
aware.
similar to that. However, as regards to walking, at one point I did so much walking, and I was shedding weight really nice, and I'm so sad that I did not keep it up. I'll try to keep it up, but also
Today is
be
the first day in like God knows I can't show this. It's hard. In like maybe a week that I
yeah.
was actually able to like fulfill my goal.
Oh, nice. Of 8,000 steps.
Yeah, yeah, which is like, and I did that because I took a walk today, and then I joined my wife in picking up the kids from daycare, which is like 2 walks. So I have to do 2 walks to actually achieve that. And like in the past 3 days, how many walks did I have? Potato.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I
I
have
mean,
to
it is what it is.
I have to share the story of a confession that I had. I went to confession to a nearby church, and I walk in, and I'm like saying like we all do. I start saying the all of the sins I've did previously, and those are pretty much the same sins. Like it's not like I've been conjuring demons or killing people, to spice things up. No, it is just boring everyday sins of a random guy in a random city. And the priest is like, he has never seen me before, but it is clear that he has been hearing these things from other people all of the time. And suddenly he's like, okay, enough of that. And like he's holding a crucifix, and he's like, what's this? And he hits me in the belly. Like, what's this? Like he pokes me in the belly with a crucifix. And like, and they're like, well, yeah, I'm a glutton. What else can I say? Listen. I was like you. And he's like waving the crucifix at me. I was like you. But out of Aggie, take a 10-kilometer walk every day, and I counted. It is around 13,000 and half steps. It will melt away. And now look at me, and he's a normally built guy now. And so the next time you come, let's see how things develop. I said, okay. And next time I went to another church for confession. One of my next videos on the main channel will be how not to confess. I recorded the audio before that confession, but if I did not, I would definitely reference it. But yeah, despite me failing to do what he said, again, I believe it is one of those things where God directly speaks with you, and you, like a lot of characters from the Bible, you're like, yeah. I was all for it until you told me what I have to do. Then I sort of lost my fervor. So next.
Is it travel?
No. I said that these are all very Corona friendly, but
Yeah.
Fruit,
So?
vegetables, tea, and grains. Okay, tea I did. The other, I tell you, man, I think I'm suffering some kind of vitamin deficiency because I can feel this weird minty aftertaste in my mouth, which probably means that I'm getting
You
scurvy
mentioned
or
that
something.
before. You mentioned that before. Is that like lack of iron or something?
No. It has to do with stomach acid, which is again indicative of poor diet and obesity. And people who have heartburn, they often say that they don't have an issue with heartburn as soon as they lose weight. And I have lost all of my issues with heartburn after Corona, so there was at least one good side effect to that disease as regards to me, but now it is making a comeback, and I think has to do a lot with me eating
we
like
talked
a
about
pig.
this. We talked about this before.
Yeah.
In reality, I have to say 100% my experience as well.
Yeah.
Like, I suffered a lot from heartburn when I had significantly more weight. When I say significantly more, it's around 20 kilos. But what is that like? 15 pounds? What is that? I don't know.
20 kilos is like 43 pounds.
Whatever. Somebody else
Yeah,
can Google it.
true.
Yeah, actually, yeah. 50 pounds is 23 kilos. That much I
Mhm.
remember. So because that's how much your
Yeah.
suitcase can weigh. Uh, in
Okay.
there,
Nice.
or was it 26? I think it's 23 or 24. I don't know. Yeah, Google knows. Shut up.
True.
So these are simply problems that follow you when you have
Mm,
too much of what you don't need.
true.
And it is what it is. And I gotta say, I never tend to comment on people's weight and all that, especially because of the
Okay.
fact that I was definitely overweight for a long time.
Uh-huh.
And I kind of had my own insecurities about that when I was a kid. So
Uh-huh.
it's definitely not something I would ever like speak to people about like directly. But you said it yourself. If
Yeah.
you got this message in this particular manner, it's something to think about for
Well,
sure.
yeah. I
You
mean,
know?
it is from God, it is from my body, and it is from common sense, like everywhere. So, by the way, one major
Hmm.
factor for me avoiding walks recently, and you're sadly very well aware of it, is the pollution in Belgrade.
Oh yeah, I know.
We will
Oh,
talk about it in, I don't know, next episode, but it cleared up due to basically gale strength winds. And when you have such chill winds, again, it is not really a pretty thing to walk around. So it is either to suffocate in smog or be blown away by icy winds. So yeah,
hmm.
not the best. By the way, I've heard people complain like Americans, they take walks in the mall, but I'm thinking that's actually really smart. You're walking around in an enclosed area without the elements, and there's a lot to walk. When I was in Texas, there was this mall which was not even that big by American standards, or let's put it that way, Texan standards. It was huge. God,
Texas standards.
yeah, like if you walk around it like 3 times, I don't know what you need to eat to actually keep that weight. So whoever thought about walking through huge American malls, congrats to you, man, or woman, or person, or however you call yourself. The next is content creation. And okay, I was relatively good at this. Um, I did my biblical illustrations. I could have done more. I could have done more YouTube videos, but I did keep the Bible illustrated hands. This podcast, I think, has done well. Uh, there's one thing missing here, which I have placed later on, and that is side project comic, my web comic. And I like doing that so much. It's missing from here, but the next is workplace. Okay, standard. And reading more. That
Huh.
one I also did. And I have read a terrific horror novel. It's called The Lodger. I want to see.
I don't read horror, but
No, this one
you
you
don't see
could
the
do.
ratings.
This one you could do. By Belloc Londas. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce that. It is the first. It is the first piece of fiction that dealt with Jack the Ripper, and it is very original because it does not deal with the murderer per se, but about how do you call a person that rents an apartment?
Uh,
Landlord?
no, landlord is the person who rents it to somebody.
Yeah. That's the thing. So you
Okay,
have this
okay, okay.
elderly couple, and they're renting a room um, in their house, and they have high suspicion that their lodger is actually a murderer, a serial murderer. And the emphasis is on the psychological effects of that assumption. So it's not it's not gory at all. There are no typical horror elements, but it is definitely a horror novel, and I liked it so much. So it was written, I know, in 1912, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, in 1913. There was first a short story that she wrote in 1911, and then she expanded it into a full-fledged novel in 1913. But I suggest that you read the novel first, because the short story spoils the whole thing. I mean, but I enjoyed it thoroughly. These are all of my New Year's resolutions. There are some things that I added, like negative resolutions, like say no more. Okay. Don't snooze, failed. Do not surf on internet at night. That I did. No video games. Again, that is something that I have done. I barely played any video games that I did not play with other people. So I did not play them by myself, which is a great thing. So it was always at least some sort of communal thing. And avoid bad food. I laugh. Your turn.
I think you did try a bit, right? You even tried keto a bit.
No, I did try everything a bit, but lack of consistency is my biggest problem,
and everybody's problem. The only problem.
Okay, I know, but this is something where it really shows.
So,
do go on.
First of all, my list is bigger, and it's much more detailed, because I really wanted to crack some eggs. But yeah, let me try. So the first category here for me is physical health. So I have this, like, they're like benign little fat tissue. They even something called them benign tumors, but they're not tumors. Atheromas. That's how they call them. I have
what they're called?
Atherom.
Let me see. Okay. Well, it might be a tumor,
It is. It can be referred to a tumor based on like the technical definition of one, but it's a benign tumor. It's just fat tissue, and it's like a genetic thing. Like my father has it as well, and he had it removed. But I avoid having them removed, because that would mean I would have to be bold here. You see, there it is. Like, here it is. It's pretty big. Let me see. So I can show you. I can't show it to you now. Never mind. It's huge. Like, when I don't have.
Okay, hair, Damien. Okay, Damien.
Trust me, it's a horn, and I have like more of them. And I'm like, I've decided last year, 2020 is going to be the year where I'm going to get rid of them. And of course, I was delaying it. I wouldn't do it in the first quarter and whatnot. And then Corona hit, and I was like, I am not going to do anything like that, right?
Okay.
So that fell off, right?
Okay.
Give me a sec. Sorry, I'm helping somebody. This is why this is happening.
Oh, that's fine.
So the second one is to spend the entire year practicing martial arts.
With your kids, pow.
That failed ridiculously. In total, I think I did like 2, maybe 3 months in total, like max. So another one is the third one. The last one here is doing a regular lab test, because we switched the way we eat, and I just kind of wanted to like do regular checks to just see if everything's okay. But I seem to be in good health.
A smart thing.
Yeah, but I didn't do it. I was delaying it. Then Corona, then this, then that, then this, then that, and So physical health, three things, all of them fail.
Okay.
Then we have spiritual health, much more things to fail.
Oh yeah.
So the first one is absolutely make sure you pray every morning, the morning prayer. Completely failed. Failed miserably. Failed in 99% of cases. Regularly reading the scriptures and Psalms, failed miserably. Minimum one akatist per month, failed miserably.
No. You have read so many Acatis, so the most holy Theotokos of the three hands, that in the end it's yeah.
But it was
I know. But
this was about consistency, not about okay, I need to do 12 a year.
I know, but
But I
yeah.
remember, you actually reminded me. You reminded me about that. I don't know how many of them we read actually, but
But it was definitely more than 12. I know because I ranted about them
yeah.
so much.
I put in to visit holy places, monasteries, at least once per quarter, and I think I visited 2 monasteries during the year.
Really?
So I
I
kind
don't
of
remember that.
I remember what
I don't remember you visiting them.
I sent you a recording of the birds singing next to one of them. The
You
Rivnica
went to a
monastery.
monastery to send me pictures of birds.
Not pictures, a video
Okay, a video of birds singing.
of literal paradise, dude. But okay, forget about it. This one, this one's like greasy. We
Okay,
praying with the kids on weekends. 0.
of course.
Now I have these icons that are still in the box
Okay.
that I want to give away, but I'm just not setting that up. I did one thing. I purchased an icon of Saint Paraskeva.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the one thing I did. And I did actually, I'm gonna cross another one now. I had some things that needed to be thrown away because they've been in touch with the holy something or something, you need to burn them in church and whatnot. We have a stove for that in church, and I did bring that.
Lucky.
But there's a
Lucky.
huge one, like a huge one, red. Look, I'll show it.
Okay.
Can you read?
Did you take communion more than 4 times?
No,
Okay.
I did not. Then the next category is peace in the home.
Well,
And
you did. You were isolated for like 10 days, so.
no, I think I rocked this one actually. Like, and there's like a bunch of things that I need to do like at home to like just fix. Like I have a balcony,
Okay.
and it was completely useless. It served as a
Storage.
literally storage area.
Yeah, I know precisely what
And
useless rooms get turned into.
I cleaned it up, and we actually used it,
Nice.
even though
Nice.
it's like the smallest one you can ever imagine. I took care of the cellar. Like I reorganized it. I reorganized the hallway. I didn't fix something in the kitchen. I didn't fix something in the bathroom, but I did fix the bathroom light, the kitchen light, stuff like that. And we got rid of a huge, like a ton of like things that we don't use, which is like we're moving towards minimal, which my wife would be like 0 waste, and I'm like, yeah, right. So yeah,
To be quite honest, zero waste is so psychologically taxing that I don't think it's worth it
look,
at all.
I allow her to have like something like a cause like that because it's a good cause, but it's I'm pragmatic. It's absolutely not doable. Like let me tell you this. She was like, I'm like, Angela, where are the paper towels? She's like, well, we're gonna be using the Angela. You're gonna buy paper towels. no matter what. I'm not
Uh,
living here without paper towels.
no, and like, did she show you like daily newspaper that you're going to use as paper towels?
No, just like pieces of cloth that you would like wash afterwards. But like that's like greasy and terrible. Like
And then
she's
you
not.
have to
But
wash it in soap and then put that in nature and
it's bad. It's bad. Like it's bad. Mm, I'm recording. Be gone. She heard me.
trouble. Trouble in paradise. Quick, send her a video of birds singing.
Bird sing Agni Paterne. Anyways, moving forward. So I had
No, we're not moving forward. Tell the story about the paper towels with narrow slips.
I'm done with that.
No, you're not. You're not going anywhere until we're done with this.
Next category, sales.
Okay, fine.
I sold a ton of things that I don't use anymore. And
Not the training piece.
Yeah, I did that. Like I said, but Corona struck, and like people were just like, okay, now we need this because we need to practice at home. And I'm like,
Yeah.
awesome, buy it. And people bought it. Like, actually, an acquaintance of mine, a former colleague, bought it.
Mhm.
I sold
Nice.
electronics. I sold. I didn't sell the like the nursery bed. And pillow and whatnot. I gave it away, but still, like this is like good score. And I didn't sell like a bunch of things as well because I didn't have the time to like put them on as you'd say in America, Craigslist.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of wanted my wife to take over that particular part, and she did, but partially, and blah. Now comes the next category: hobbies and socializing. Play board games on a regular basis. And go to the cinema at least once per quarter. And
By the way, play board games more often. Like 6 months ago, hey B, there's a board game. Yay! Hey, it's canceled.
next one is read 20 books. I've read 10, which is
okay. That's good.
I mean, I'm fine with that. Then there's family, which is a complete failure. Like, I didn't hang out with anybody. I was gonna help my uncle publish a book. I didn't. So complete fail. Then there's a category called travel, and there's quite a number of plans we actually made for 2020, which is like I wanted to visit my best friend in Sweden for at least like 1 month, maybe even 2 months. We were gonna do like a big company reunion thing in Europe this time, not in the United States. We were gonna go to a seaside resort, and we were also gonna go to a winter resort. But as far as that goes, like the closest thing I've had this year to that, I think, was not including my stay in Chachak, which is my wife's hometown. Is when I was driving my father to a hospital and I saw snow on the mountain.
Well, that's travel. So
that's pretty much it.
Driving your father around in order to ensure his survival is travel. People who don't travel read only a page. You know that amazing video, Rich Friend Who Travels?
Yeah.
You know it? Okay, good. Go on.
But you should link it actually.
I will.
We do that when we say we're gonna do that? You should find it and link it because not everybody's heard of it.
Uh, I watch that movie every so often, and it is always great. It never loses its charm.
One of those, agreed. Next category, personal projects. I was actually pretty good with this. The only thing I didn't launch is my own YouTube channel, which I did want to, but I kind of changed my mind in terms of what I want to do. So
By
it's
the way,
likely gonna.
my recommendation regarding that: start one and let it flow. What you want to do with it. Uh, uh, do you know what was Bible Illustrated YouTube channel initially supposed to look like?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just there's a recording of a sermon by a priest, and there's a speed draw of that verse, and that was the concept for the whole channel. And then I
Look, let me,
decided,
like, from my personal perspective,
yeah,
like, this is the only way to go. You just start. I know this
yeah,
because I've started many things like that. It's just that I kind of have different things that I want to do, and to me personally, like a YouTube channel, like my own YouTube channel, would kill my time right now, and I am in a
yeah,
position where I need to spend that time in doing something else.
true,
So that's it. But
yeah,
I fully understand how this works. Trust me, I fully understand. Um,
true,
I've seen people hack YouTube, literally, like hack YouTube, knowing how the thing works. So, but that's not that was not my intention. Anyways, I interrupted you when you were trying to explain like the brief history of
no,
Bible
that was
Illustrated.
no, that was about it. It was supposed to be like only short sermons on very specific verses,
But
and that was
were
about
you gonna
it.
do sermons? Were you gonna do sermons?
No, not even me. So I
Hmm.
would pick a verse, I would contact a priest, and that priest would compose a sermon specifically for the channel, and that was
Too
that.
much dependence. Too much dependency on priests.
Oh, okay, no. It was even verse. Each video was supposed to have an original music score. Oh my
Sure.
triune God! That amount of stress, because I was like, okay, I have to have a video for every week, because I know how YouTube algorithm works in part. Nobody really does how it works. Father John, when are you going to send it? Luca, did you compose the piece of music? And Luca is a typical artist. Like, he gets depressed. He doesn't do anything for like 3 weeks. He can barely get out of bed. I'm like, come on, I'm really not paying you to do this. Come on, be faster.
I know him, right?
Yeah, Luca Chubrilla.
I know him. He's
Yeah.
composing your. Yeah. I know the guy.
Oh
Nice.
man, and okay, and then I was like, hey, let's make a video series where I would talk about my illustrations of the Bible. So I make the first episode, Pencils and Prayer Ropes, called The Chapters of the Bible. I finish that episode and I'm like, I have nothing else to say about this. So for all of you out there who want to get into YouTubership or TikTokery or whatever, and you don't know what to do, simply start. It will get clarified eventually.
I gotta say, but please don't say okay, boomer. But I
Okay.
find TikTok extremely annoying.
Oh,
Extremely,
listen,
extremely
I understand why
annoying.
you do.
How people make YouTube compilations of TikTok.
Yeah, but I mean, ironically, there are some very good things on it. But man, the amount of inane, stupid things. By the way, the only thing
Inane
that
is a perfect word.
yeah,
Like it's
yeah,
that emoji which like only has the eyes and doesn't have the mouth. That's like
yeah,
the emoji which I put when in front of TikTok. Like it's
Do you know what? Do you know what?
The devil made it. Trust
Yeah.
me, man.
Well, no. But do you know what's worse? The sole worst thing, I think. Now, when you start Facebook application, I think that by default it starts with Facebook videos. Good grief, the idiocy. There are basically two kinds of Facebook videos. One are cooking videos, which are okay, and they're all pretty much the same. Like there's a camera directly over the ingredients, and there's some catchy music, and it's all very well done. And
or they're making cocktails or something.
No. They're actually making real dishes or cookies or cakes or meat, whatever, and those are okay. And then there are others. The best way I can describe others is some extremely rich person doing something inane, but in that set of inane, you have a special set of pranks. All of these are so bad. For example, there's this prank where this person puts on a big fruit or vegetable like pineapple or like watermelon, and then they sorry,
plantain.
Yeah, and then they put pour alcohol on it. They set it on fire. Then they knock on it, and there's a person on the side who's like, "Oh, what's going on? What's going to happen now?" And then they're knocking, so they knock it a couple of times, and then they rip it open, and there's some toy in it, like a toy car, and there we made it, and I like I've seen that thing like you know.
I know, but there's millions of people watching that crap.
Yeah, and there's
sorry guys, censored this or something.
Yeah, and there's one where this guy's like preparing to propose to a girl, and he's given her a bunch of huge sheets of paper, and she's like supposed to throw them all on the floor, and like the first says, so he gave me all these papers. I'm not supposed to look, and supposedly she's not seeing what's happening on them. But man, I know when I record, there is no chance in hell that they made that video in one take. There's I mean, they did make it in one take, but it took like 50 takes, and come on, like,
look.
Sorry, I simply had to end. These are worse than TikTok. I mean, TikTok is like, at least, okay, it is a minute of stupidity, but maybe you will catch something good. Here,
TikTok is the new wine.
Yeah.
And wine was like super annoying as well. Yeah. Because what ends up happening is young people in general just repeating the same things everybody else is doing, just repeating the same. You get the same TikTok from a million people.
Yeah.
We're planking today. We are, dancing, doing this dance, doing that dance. Come on.
Even worse are the singing videos. Like they put some music and they're like simply lip syncing, and
there's an effect that does something like this, and it freezes the
okay.
And people are like making faces, and every time they do it, it's just a normal face. It's completely ridiculous. Like there's none, they don't get any result. But there's like a ton of videos like that, and my problem is I don't have a TikTok. Okay, I don't.
Oh no!
It's being poured into YouTube.
Yeah,
and it's polluting you. It's polluting YouTube. Seriously polluting you. And there are some things that you don't do. Like if you want to remain sane, like you don't. For example, I'm in Serbia. You don't go to the recommended area.
I have said that my YouTube channel is in the United States because I do not want to see Serbian recommended videos. I really do not.
I didn't really know you can do that, actually. Like
yes.
I did. When I was in the United States, I would get recommendations for the United States. So I think it's based on your geolocation.
You can change it, and thank God.
That could be a good hack.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how US based recommendations look like, but Serbian, like
Oh
the
no.
music,
I
the
mean,
music.
listen. It's stupid. It's inane, and so on. And the trending videos are atrocious.
No, it's freaking.
But still, it's better than what's here.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
So I have like a category like projects, which is business projects / hobby projects, and
Mm,
the three big ones I didn't even touch, and I decided never to do it. I launched a
Okay.
podcast with a friend of mine. You're aware of that. A friend of yours was on the podcast. It was in Serbian. It was like a test that failed. People here don't want that sort of content,
Mhm.
which is perfectly fine. I'm kind of
Okay.
disappointed. I'm kind of disappointed people don't like this kind of content, and I'm disappointed with the fact that people here are really into very like fake celebrity
Yeah.
BS. But it is what it is. It was a test. Actually, one of my goals was to launch a YouTube channel for Church Mouse
Yeah.
Chronicle. So I guess that one's a success. I wanted to do one collab with you. That was also on my list. We did that.
We'll do more, but I need to finish a couple of other things on my to-do list, and then we will return to the
But I enjoyed it.
Shazam.
I enjoyed it thoroughly. Like
Oh
I
no,
enjoyed
it was.
really, really enjoyed it.
To be quite
Like
honest, I think it is definitely one of my favorite videos on the channel. It was so good. I
and
wonder what's the view count
it
now.
was backsided a bit by another video that you published, which was very relevant.
No. I made that video on Seth Chad of Mercia, which I
Yeah,
literally made in one day, and then it
yeah,
got more popular than the season video. And I'm like, okay, this took research,
yeah,
lot of
exactly.
illustration,
Yeah,
collab,
back and forth on the
recording,
script.
everything, and I make this like as a joke, like a literal. What's the word? Uh, there's a perfect word for it. I'll remember, but a joke video, and then it gets more popular than the season video. And I'm like,
But okay, kudos to Saint Chad of Mercia. It's like,
let me see
um,
what's the view count on the Shazam. Oh, we're nearly 10,000. Nice.
uh, cool.
I mean, it could be better, but it has more views than Chad. So
Yay. It
yay.
was such a fun video to make, and
Oh
I
yeah.
loved most of the comments, not including the Crusaders, who are like,
Oh, okay, but
let's
those are bound to
let's
show
have
up.
a theological debate on does the Holy Spirit proceed from the Father or from the Father and the Son? Ugh. Get the joke, guys. But yeah, and finally there's two more.
Novelty video. Okay, I remembered the word that I was going to use. Okay, go on.
Novelty.
Yeah, like novelty toy or something. Okay.
Hmm. The last one, the last two ones was I was gonna fix my push scooter, electric
Okay.
push scooter, and I was gonna close down my bank account for my previous company, which was like it was hanging over me for some time, and because
Oh,
I was waiting for a refund
yeah,
from the state, because there was a mix up and whatnot.
yeah.
And lo and behold, a miracle happened because they did refund me maybe 2 months ago, and a month and a half ago or something. I did close down this bank account, and I did fix my push scooter, and then it broke 2 times after that, and I I I gave up on it. I gave
Okay.
up on it for good. Like I was like, do I replace it now with like an electric bike or something, which I don't have room to keep?
Yeah,
So, and I ended up not actually buying anything. I'm just gonna wait to see what happens next year because they announced that they're gonna change laws and you practically won't be able to drive push scooters anymore, like
yeah,
electric push scooters. It's ridiculous, completely crazy, insane people running this country. But I think that was always the case. Um, in at least in the past 2 centuries. Now, my list is done, and when I look at it, I did a lot of things. Like I finished a lot
Yeah.
of things that I wanted to finish, but the most important ones, I completely miserably failed. It was like I'd be super happy if I didn't touch any of these others if I cracked on
Yeah.
these important ones. Like the thing is, I hate the fact that I always push myself to be more consistent at prayer and my spiritual health, and I never do that. Like this is not the first year when I'm like, I'm gonna I'm gonna accept communion more because
Yeah.
I'm gonna, I'm gonna try to be the Christian that you
Yeah.
should be. Um,
Somebody asked me on, and I'm going to mention this in Bible Illustrated Hands. But somebody asked me, like, what is the Orthodox position on smoking, because they have heard that it is a huge sin and they're worried for their family because they all smoke, and so on and so forth. And I think that the reason why we fail so much at prayer is because,
we don't smoke.
well, I mean, it's clear that we are lazy and everything, but it is also clear interference from the demonic. And I would like, and I will list an example of smoking and offering incense, because people spend a lot of money on cigarettes and cigars. They smoke a pack or two, maybe even 3 a day, and so on. I like to offer incense. How often I sense? Like maybe once a week. Because and there's really no reason why not to. It looks pretty, it smells pretty, it relaxes you, and so on. But you don't do it. Why? Because demons don't want you to do it. But if I took up smoking, I would be like,
I need to show you.
like,
Yeah, I know that cartoon.
yeah, that's what I meant. Like Sylvester,
Yeah.
I think it's Sylvester.
Yeah. I think it's him. Let me show you something I bought. Let me show you this
Oh, a
because
pack of cigars,
I was
a
burning
pipe,
incense
a bong.
a bit more these days. Look at it.
What's that? Is it a wand? It's
Yeah, but
perfect.
it's perfect. You know when you put when you
Yeah,
put it in
yeah.
front, you can't use the lighter because it will.
Yeah, but with that lighter, it loses that Russian roulette
One more joke.
charm when you hold the charcoal in your hand and you're like hoping that it does not burn your hand while you hold it.
This is me, who always forgets to buy the lighter for an event or something. Look at it. Like I
And
literally
doesn't even
collect.
smoke.
I don't smoke. Look at it. Look, where is it? Look.
By the way, that reminded me. Like we were
I
celebrating
don't
my
need this.
birthday. We were
Sorry.
celebrating my birthday here for like I don't know, some 3 years ago, maybe 4, and there was like at least 20 people present. So I bring out the cake and there's like a candle on it, and I was like, who has the lighter? 20 people, not one had a lighter. Not one.
Every time I go to the cemetery and I want to light a candle, like it's like, oh my god, I forgot the lighter. And you know what? Probably 2 or 3 out of these 7 lighters that I have are I borrowed it from somebody in the cemetery,
Oh,
and they didn't want it back or whatever. There's a superstition about lighters and
no,
borrowing lighters in Serbia. You know
really?
that, right? Yeah,
No, first time I hear
there's
it.
like if you like give it to somebody as a gift, you will there's gonna be bad blood between you. You're gonna start,
Oh no, random person from the cemetery.
Yeah, but there might be more. I know there's like more superstition, but I'm just not aware of what exactly it is. But I know there's like, for example, if you give it to somebody on a cemetery, you don't get it back or something like that. I don't
Yeah.
know. Really, I'm not an expert at that, but there is superstition about ladders in Serbia.
Yeah.
So that being said, like overall, how would you rate your fulfillment of your New Year's resolution?
I would fulfill it as abject failure with occasional bright spots that aren't really that important. Okay, reading Bible is important, but reading books, again, it is a good thing to do, but not that important. However, year in general, despite COVID, went well for me because, I'm still creating. I still love creating. I don't feel burnout. I bought an apartment into which, God willing, I will move in very soon, and this whole scenery will change. So for this year, despite all of its setbacks and debts and everything, still thank God for it. We'll see. You?
I think I did great in areas that are easy.
Yeah.
And I utterly failed at areas that are hard. So I think I'm basically a failure in that sense.
Well,
I'm not taken back by it. I'm not pessimistic about it. I have really yet to figure out what's my personal lesson from this entire year, especially based on things that happened recently, and because I was faced with something that you don't get to face very often, and it makes you wonder. It makes you think about some things which you usually don't. And I have to face some of those things, and I have to face them alone. Well, not fully alone. I mean, I can always ask for divine intervention, as I usually do. I'm like the worst. I'm like the most boring Christian in that sense. I'm like bothering God for everything. But yeah, I'm actually looking forward to sitting down and trying to formulate like a list of goals for next year, especially because there's going to be some changes for sure.
Well, maybe you could try sorting the list by priority. You have listed it in categories like peace at home, God, prayer, and so on. But maybe you could make an alternative list of by priority.
You know what? The list, the categories were listed by priority.
Okay. No, I know that categories were, but even within those categories,
it should have been enough.
I know.
These are not the things where you go through a to-do list and you're like,
I know.
I am rocking this prayer thing. Like it's let's
says the devil.
Like I am really like, I'm really kicking it, man, with this, communion thing. You can't do that, you can't do that.
Yeah.
One thing that I'm waiting for the moment in my life where I took care of some things, and I'm like, my next step is like fully conquering another foreign language. Like that's, man, I have to, like, I'm very good with languages, but I want to be able
with the language.
But I want to be able to read some capital works in its native language.
The
mainly,
Bible.
That will be Greek, right? I am not going to learn Greek.
Okay. Well, and like Hebrew.
Well, wasn't it written in Greek initially by the apostles, or was it really written in Hebrew initially?
Which testament are we talking about here?
The New Testament.
It was written in Greek.
I don't read the Old Testament.
But I mean, maybe I think that maybe Matthew was possibly written in Aramaic initially. I don't really know.
You think? I thought all of them were written in Greek, but it's fine.
No, I think that again, I think that Matthew might have been written in Aramaic originally, but we don't have any traces of that. But
Yeah.
this is
Also,
just me.
I'm not learning Greek. I'm definitely not learning. It doesn't. I'm not drawn to it.
As
It is
Mark
what it
Twain would say, life is too short to learn German.
is. I'm also very, very not drawn to German, but I did watch some content in German recently, which I really liked. Namely 2 TV shows, I think. I liked
Yeah.
both of them. And I have to say, it came as a bit of a surprise because German usually puts me off.
Yeah.
And I started watching another show which was in German,
Okay.
but it sucked, man. Like the show, it's bad. It's bad.
Well, to be quite honest,
It's
yeah.
it's bad. It's bad. And I used US English audio. It was so ridiculous. Like they speak in German and what comes out is, we are not used to watching
Yeah.
synchronized.
Oh no, not at all.
We're used to subtitles, and for me this was like new experience. But yeah, next year is gonna be read more books, travel more, pray more, take care of things that you're dragging for years, like go to an ophthalmologist, which I did, and it wasn't a part of my New Year's resolution, but I did want to do it. Like I should have
Yeah.
put it as a part of my, like I was postponing to go to the ophthalmologist, but then my vision on in my right eye started blurring, and I was like, I'm not delaying this. You know how much it took me like one afternoon basically to do the examination, buy glasses, and starting from that day I'm wearing it. So
Yeah. By the way, speaking of to-do lists, I think I had a major breakthrough as regards to productivity, because I finally found an ideal way to organize all of my obligations. So I'm going to quickly share it with you. Maybe some of you guys will find it useful as well. For my everyday habits and to-dos, I use Habitica, which is sort of a way to
what?
Habitica. It is like turning your habits into a video game. And to be quite honest, after some time, that video game element, it's not that particularly fun, but the interface is really done well. And if you combine it with different emojis, it's really interesting to use. Then I use the Google Calendar for things that are one time or repeat themselves.
You're gonna show me the first thing that you mentioned. You're gonna show me that.
Okay,
I'm interested
Habitica.
in seeing
And
Habitica.
finally, for one-off things, I do Todoist. And all of these 3 things are very useful because you can connect them across different platforms. And it was such a stress saver. I can't even begin to tell you. So I'm going to link you all 3 of them. Okay, well, not Google Calendar. I mean, I suppose that everybody can simply Google.
Todoist, I couldn't digest. And I tried. I've tested out. You wouldn't believe how many to-do applications.
Okay.
And I didn't like Todoist.
Really?
I
Why?
really didn't like. Yeah, it just didn't work. I think the flow was just wrong.
Okay.
If you're interested, I'll show you better alternatives for sure. Especially for you as a creative person, artistic person, I think you're gonna find it better.
Well, okay, but so far I really don't need anything better because it's doing what it's supposed to do. I put things that I need to do and I take it off once it's done. That's all I need from it. But for the audience, put it and I'll check it out, and maybe I'll switch to whatever you offer.
I'm not offering anything.
I'm
not selling you anything.
You know what I mean. Oh, is it Trello again?
No, I don't think Trello is good as a to-do. In general, it's not good
Trello, in general, it's not good.
for to-do lists.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
It's an opinion.
No, it's okay. It's fine.
It's too the user interface is just not built for that, and I
Yeah.
think it creates more strain on you than it solves you the problem. But it is what it is. Like you know that I eventually I would always return back to pen and paper, and that's why I bought the iPad, and I'm using it like on a daily basis, and I love
Yeah.
it. And because I've replaced several notebooks, and I'm not dragging them with me. I have one
Yeah.
device that it's just
Great.
much better.
Yeah.
I did put on a separate. I fulfilled the promise that I gave to you, which you don't remember. I promised, but I promised you that I'm gonna buy you a Kindle for
Thank you
your
so much
for your
regarding that.
birthday, and I actually have it like right here, November.
Yeah.
You see,
Thank you.
and the other thing that's right next to it is the thank you Lord, the expiration of my cable plus phone plus internet
Yeah.
provider, which is it okay? Is it Christian to say you hate the company?
Yes.
I think that's fine. I hate this company.
It's fine. Which one
uh,
is it?
SBB.
Okay.
It's been years of highly overpaid,
Mm-hmm.
extremely bad internet, which I've now replaced. Thank you, God. I've replaced it, and I have great speed even on freaking Wi-Fi. Like this
Mm-hmm.
now is on Wi-Fi, and I wouldn't be I couldn't do it before. Like I had to be on cable.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Yeah. Yeah.
so bad. I use so many smart devices at home, and they would just lose connection.
Yeah.
I go out for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and cameras just switch off. They don't get to connect to the internet. I freaked out one time. I called Alex, my
Yeah.
friend slash colleague slash cousin, and I was like, "Can you go to my dad's place, grab the keys, and check my house, check my apartment?" And he
Yeah.
did.
I remember
It's
that.
a wonderful person. Um, so yeah, that's it. That's it. Like 2020 is almost done. Um,
May it
what?
never return.
Well, it can't. It
I
can't
know, but
return.
still.
Uh, I wish you all a pleasant vaccinated 2021. God only knows what they have in store for us.
Oh,
In the light of some recent discoveries we've made, where there supposedly have been basically a cure.
yeah.
Like for this is something that could have stopped the pandemic, and it's been known for months. But endless funds are still being poured into literally completely new methods of making vaccines.
Yeah.
And I hate to be this pessimist about things, but
Mm-hmm.
when I see what people do and how ready they are to literally trample on other people's corpses to get
Oh yeah. Oh
economical
yeah.
gain, financial gain,
Mm-hmm.
like I understand why this world has to end. Like it just
Yeah.
has to
Yeah.
end. It's going to a place of no return, and you know that's why what says in the Bible basically is going to happen.
It's true,
It's going
and it's
it's going
true.
to happen. It's going to happen because we're going there. And you freaked me out with that video you sent. You freaked me out completely because it's spot on that
Which one? Which one?
we are probably already living in a totalitarian society.
Oh yeah.
Um, Completely true. Completely true.
True.
And you
True.
know what Corona pandemic did? It sped things up significantly.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's true.
You know, everybody switching to
Sadly,
technology, kids switching to hang out via their phones. It's a massive shift. And God only knows what the outcome is going to be.
yeah, I know.
It was a good talk, though, man.
Yeah,
I feel
it was
like
great.
we are not doing this often enough. But yeah, you're a busy guy. I'm sort of busy guy.
And we have sick parents, so we have to stay clear. Sadly.
Yeah. No, it's fine. It's fine.
Thank you for the antibodies, B.
You didn't give me antibodies. You gave me the virus. My body gave me the
How
antibodies.
else do you get antibodies? I
Thank
was
you,
a
body, for
breath
the
of
antibodies.
God. I was
Yeah,
the
you were
cough
the
of
vaccine.
God.
You were the vaccine.
I was the sneeze of the Lord upon thee.
Yeah. Okay. Next topic in our next episode: the common communion spoon.
Yeah, like
Everybody's
let's go with the
everybody's topic in
actual
the
lore again. Real life miracles too, except it is the same old miracles, but it is two.
or we'll just talk about the communal sponge from the time of the Romans.
Yeah, maybe we could simply discuss Notre Dame fire.
Did they rebuild the thing?
I think it is going very well.
Yeah, I never followed up because
Well, maybe
it
we
was
have
big
it
deal
for
when
the
it
next
happened, but then
episode. Hey, what is Notre Dame doing?
and we analyzed something else by Father Stephen. But this time we bash him.
Yeah. Why you shouldn't follow Orthodox people
Yeah,
online? You're like,
yeah.
nah.
No, he made a very good point about how the internet just made a lot of people just appear out of nowhere and get people's attention, and people
Yeah,
would listen to them, and they seemingly represent, in many cases, represent what the Orthodox Christianity is like.
yeah.
And you know what? People be crazy. Like I was looking at Twitter, and
Okay,
somebody commented on one of your posts,
okay.
and they have it all. The pink Orthodox cross emoji,
Yeah.
the I'm an Orthodox Christian in their
Mhm.
title, but like the
Yeah.
vocabulary of this person was like, and I remember somebody asking them, do you like receive communion with that mouth? And then the answer was even worse. And I'm like, look, I'll swear, right? But not in a place where that's gonna influence others,
Yeah,
you know?
true.
Because you can't do that. Even if it's a part of you, you can't do that. You
I
you're
know.
you are tying the rope to that, windmill, uh,
Blade.
stone or whatever, like, and you're
Yeah.
throwing yourself into the water. Like, don't do that. It's stupid.
Well,
It's stupid.
that is the age-old problem with the internet.
Yeah.
But what are you gonna do?
B, appreciate your time, and
You
let's
too,
talk.
man.
Let's talk soon with some guests whom you need to.
Fine, I'll invite them.
It's not fair. Some people have been pending for some time, and there's great people to talk to, Great
True.
things to learn. Great things to learn. We had some
True.
really great guests. Special guests.
Very. Starting from the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.